Talking now with Brad from McClelland Premium Imports. Brad, I walked by, I saw you having a couple of beers, as you do.
Pouring beers.
Oh, you were pouring beers, pardon me, and I thought I got to stop in and talk to this guy. We got some great signage up here. I've got different glasses, different colors of beer. What am I looking at?
Well, we import beers from all over Europe. Basically, discovery beers is where they sort of invented certain styles of beer. So we have Belgian Abbey beers, we have Belgian fruit beers, we have a nice Austrian lager from Salzburg. We have a couple of German wheat beers, best-selling wheat beers in the world from the heart of Bavaria. Erding's a town just outside of Munich, and that whole area is very synonymous with wheat beer. Nice, light. Most beers brewed with barley. Wheat beers tend to be brewed with half barley and at least half wheat for the malt. So it gives a lighter, fruitier, more effervescent style. And this brewery in question, Erdinger Brewery, only brews wheat beer. Family-owned brewery. They've been doing it for a long time, and they're pros.
Now, give people a crash course really quick. The people that stop into some of these restaurants in town right now that are serving these beers from across the pond, they see a word like Abbey. What is an Abbey beer?
An Abbey beer means that the original recipe was created by monks. So ideally the Abbey is still in operation, which often it is, and for it to be an Abbey beer you also have to have some of the proceeds from the beer supporting the Abbey in question. And they don't brew the beer anymore. That would actually be called the Trappist beer, and that means it's brewed within the monastery walls. But an Abbey beer means they oversee it at the brewery, which is often just around the corner, and they'll go taste it and say, yeah, you can go sell that. And
so an Abbey beer basically just has to kind of have more or less their permission or something.
Exactly, and the original recipe, of course, was created at the Abbey. Abbeys were great places for beers to thrive and survive through wars because they were often sort of left alone. So they were able to continue brewing beer and developing their craft.
Now I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the menu again, and I see words like Dunkel and Drupal, and what are these words that I'm looking at?
Well, Dunkel is just straight up German for dark. So where we have a regular Weiss beer, Dunkel just means they've over roasted that malt, so you get a little roasty toasty flavor to it. So Dunkel, dark in German.
And last word I'm going to quiz you on, and then we're going to pour one, because you're so kind, is Weiss beer. Tell me about Weiss beer.
Weiss means white or wheat. Of course, the wheat gives the beer a whiter color, so they call it Weiss beer. So again, German, Weiss for white. And that just means it has wheat in it. So most beers, like I said, have barley as the malt, ideally. And then a wheat beer or Weiss beer is half barley and half wheat. And the wheat gives it that lighter, sort of little cloudier, whiter color, and a bit of a lighter, fresher flavor as well.
Can you pour me one? Yeah. Hold it up a little high so the camera can see it as well.
This is an Erdinger Weiss beer. You'll notice there's a little bit of cloudiness in it. That's because it's fermented in the bottle, so it's not pasteurized. They preserve this beer the original way, and that's sort of like a champagne. So you get a nice little effervescence like a champagne as well. You'll notice it's a nice, you can drink. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to pour yourself one? Come on. I don't like to drink alone here. Jeez. Okay. No more lonely nights, pal. It's me and you and the Weiss beer. That's right.
I didn't know we had gone that far in our relationship, Sean, but cheers anyway.
Cheers. Oh, that's great. Now, don't let me stop you, please. Just chug it down. By the way, I have a question for you. What is it with tall guys that are drinking? I'm actually not that short, but I keep meeting tall guys that make me look short.
Room to keep the beer. It's great. It's hard to fill me up with beer. It's like a tall glass.
Now, with this stuff, it's imports. All of this is available at the beer store. All this is available wherever somebody wants to find it in Ontario.
LCBO. We do our draft through the beer store because they're great at cold storing it and delivering, of course. But bottles tend to be sold at the LCBO because that's a little bit more of a shopping experience. You can go in, take a look at the bottle, read it, and that sort of thing. Whereas at the beer store, it's more for 2-4s, that sort of thing. So all our beers are available in bottle at the LCBO, and they do a wonderful job of stocking and carrying all sorts of really interesting beers, as you know.
Awesome. Brad, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this delicious beer, and we'll see you next time.
All right, cool. Cheers, Sean.